early on, we grew up in a household where like it truly was faith family football, and both my maternal and paternal grandfathers were Southern Baptist pastors. I probably didn't make it personal to me until we really got to Maryland, and that was like middle, you're probably late elementary school, middle school years. So I was probably old enough to actually really more or less understand what was going on. And the church that we went to in Towson, Mount Calvary AME, was really the first time that we got involved with small groups, like I guess really truly making it from something that you just grew up doing to really trying to internalize it and having a personal relationship with God, and ultimately letting that be our guiding light.
What was life like at Bel Air High School, and maybe talk a little bit about your involvement with FCA. I know it was quite a while ago, but as much you can remember.
Yeah, that was probably one of the more impressionable times in my life on a number of levels. Not obviously academically, athletically, but then from a faith perspective. And I think it was really because of two things. Number one, there was a period where and again it was probably experiencing the first time like real personal adversity, and now it's real personal adversity probably in the context of a 14, 15,
Sure.
16-year-old, whether it's school or like lack of success in sports, or having a problem socially. That was probably like really the first time that some of those issues felt really really big at that point in your life stage, and you don't have maybe the normal mechanisms to lean on. And I think particularly to Bel Air High School and the FCA program there, it was nice to have really an outlet or a place to talk about common experiences, get support from people who are maybe going through similar experiences, and then ultimately people who could partner with you to strengthen your faith on a daily basis. Having that community, really was, such a major part of like my own personal growth and my own, really relationship with Jesus Christ.
Andrew and Adam really quickly, really, established themselves as strong leaders. And it was the whole group of young men that we actually got around that time. They were a tremendous group of young men, and Adam and Andrew used their faith to allow them to, stand up for what is right and just be a guiding light.
I go into Bel Air High School, and I see you and Adam lead an FCA lesson. It was really a tough lesson to share with your peers. It was about purity, and you guys gave the most beautiful message to your peers. And so here are these two athletes that are just really successful in the athletic world, standing up in front of their peers and sharing their faith. And I got to tell you, like that literally was one of the most confirming things to me, that this is exactly where God's called me to. Like when we can utilize the influence of sports, the influence that athletes and coaches have to really reach their peers, man, we can reach a lot of people. Now you've been resolved to pursue excellence in leadership in the NFL, and it's led you to become the youngest general manager ever in NFL history. Is that correct? Am I right?
At least as far as we know it.
Okay, as far as we know, yeah. Achieving success at the level that you have, it can be really tricky to balance faith and success. And so what for those that are out there, maybe we have kids watching that are anticipating being successful in the future, and some of them maybe will become successful, whether it's athletically or in the business world or whatever. How do you stay resolved, and what do you do to make sure you're keeping Jesus as number one in your life?
Well, I have three things that come to mind. So you talk about the idea of success, but I think oftentimes success is built on one's failures. And for me, I can think about whether it was professional failures of getting demoted the first time I was in Cleveland, or going through situations of like real doubt in my faith when things weren't looking great at different points in the last 10 years, or handling moments of adversity the wrong way, with my wife or my family, and learning from the mistakes that I did have. So I think like many times many times people who are maybe new in their faith think that it's, hey, dedicate your life to Christ and then everything's smooth sailing. And it's really like, it just starts getting hard after that point. And that's okay. Like that's that, you think about, you think about the disciples, right? They're like the Hall of Famers in terms of, following Christ. And, you had one in Peter denied Jesus 3 times, or you have doubting Thomas. Like we all go through these human experiences. And I think allowing yourself some grace, because, Jesus grants us that grace, and then being able to learn from those experiences to strengthen your faith as you go through those tougher stretches in your life. I think that's really important. So when you get to a point of however you define success, like remembering and leaning on those experiences from past trials. I think the second part is, especially as you gain more responsibility, whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it's you name it, making sure that you have a routine where you are consistently spending time with God. Whether that's, for me, it's scripture, prayer, podcasts on the drive in or the drive back, because as you have just more stuff, it can be easy to get into bad habits. But just like any relationships get better as you spend time with people, and our relationship with Christ is no different. And then the last thing I would say is, make sure that you keep whether it's your small group, your support system, your family, whoever that is, where your accountability partners, where you can hold one another accountable in your faith. For me, it's really my wife and my brother. And I think that is incredibly important, because they may be able to see things, before you can. And it's important to have, like, we're made to do this in community. We're made to do this together. And I think that's incredibly important, so that you don't stay isolated, and you have people in your life who are speaking truth and speaking love into it.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. That's such good. There's a lot of wisdom in that. So I hope everybody tunes in and maybe writes those down. Hey, we're running out of time. Bruce, thank you so much. Thank you for pouring into Andrew in the early years. What's it like?
He poured more into me than I poured into him, though. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I got more for my players than they gave to me, than I gave to them. So
I can assure you that's not
benefit from that.
Yeah, thank you for reuniting us, for sure. We got a lot of Ravens fans here, so but that's okay. We're gonna root for you. I got to root for the guys I know, and I am a Ravens fan, but man, knowing you're there, it gives me a little bit more of a heart for the Cleveland Browns. So, yeah,
a little bit more.
a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know about Bruce.
Right.
Maybe not for Bruce, but
I won't hold it against you guys if you don't.
Thank you.
I understand it runs deep.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Well, great seeing you guys.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, keep up the good work, both of you.
Thanks, Coach.